Hey everyone, boy oh boy, we've got a few things to talk about in this video. First, we're going to talk about Turkey. Then we're going to talk about liquidations. Then we're going to talk about what I did with my crypto portfolio. Those of you in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group already know what I did and what I'm doing now because you get buy-sell alerts every time. Black Friday is today, which does mean there's a Black Friday coupon code for the programs on Building Your Wealth expiring down below. But folks, let's first talk about Turkey and the lira. First of all, so Turkey has a currency. It's called the lira. This year it has lost 40% of its value, and on Tuesday it lost 15% of its value in one day. And so far today, not looking good either. It's losing more of its value. Why? Because the president of Turkey is fighting inflation at 20%. And in his response to fighting inflation, he is overriding what the central bank is trying to do, and he is reducing interest rates. Yes, usually we raise interest rates to combat high inflation. Think about what Paul Volcker did. Painfully raised interest rates, hurt the economy, beat us and drug us through a nasty recession, but finally got us out of high inflation. That's why we have so many fears today that if inflation continues, we're going to go through the same kind of painful recession thanks to inflation, interest rates going up. However, Turkey thinks that, no, that's not what we're going to do. We're just going to do whatever we want. We're independent. We're going to lower interest rates, which is now stoking fears of more inflation and making the case that maybe a country like Turkey should finally adopt Bitcoin, because obviously they're not capable of handling their own currency. Now, the only country so far to in full adopt cryptocurrency has been El Salvador. El Salvador has a GDP, an annual gross domestic product, of around $25 billion. Turkey, while its GDP has been declining since about 2013, does have a GDP that is in excess of 30 times the size of El Salvador. It's unlikely that with the existing president we'll see any kind of rotation to a cryptocurrency, but there's a lot of speculation that, hey, you know what, if we get a different president in Turkey, or, we just look at Turkey as a perfect case example as to why certain countries should not be having their own currencies, then obviously Bitcoin looks very appetizing. But anyway, so that gives us a little bit of background on what's going on with Turkey. It is actually a reason to be bullish for crypto. But now we got to talk a little bit about liquidations, and then we got to talk about what's going on in my portfolio, or as the Australians on TikTok say, my portfolio. Sorry, it's a great TikTok. Try to find that. Australian portfolio. They write it like that. It's great. Anyway, if you've seen it, you get it. If you haven't, you think I'm a moron, which some people think anyway, which is fine. That's okay. I mean, some people say I'm a clown. All I need is a red nose, and then I'm a clown. Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at liquidations really quickly here. So obviously, we're seeing some liquidations. By the way, we're now getting a rebranding to coinglass.com. That's because a lot of people were calling this Bibit, Biped. I mean, there were so many millions of different variations for how people were pronouncing this. Bipped, whatever, you name it, doesn't matter. Now they're going with something simple, coinglass.com. But anyway, take a look at this. We've clearly got a liquidation spike here. The last time we had an extremely large one was obviously back in September. But if we go ahead and zoom in a little bit more here, we could see that relative to October and November, October we had about 810 million in liquidations. We had a spike here about 783. Right now we're sitting at about 640 million in liquidations for Bitcoin. That's just Bitcoin. So definitely a substantial amount of liquidations. It doesn't surprise me since a lot of folks are in crypto and they're triple, 5x, 10x leverage. So you get a drawdown of about 10% in the price of Bitcoin in a short period of time. You're going to see some pain pretty quickly. We're only about 5.9% down on the 7-day here. However, we have drawn down from all-time highs at about 69,000, dropped down to about 63, then hit 60, sat at that 58,000 support. This is where I regularly mention, folks, our next stopping point is 54,000, somewhere between 54,300 and 54,500 is where the support line sits. And folks, it's no surprise, it's literally where we're sitting right now, and it's where we've been bouncing. Now, the next one after this is 47,000. So I'm not going all in yet, but I'm definitely watching these support lines because, folks, if you don't know basic TA, you probably shouldn't be trading crypto. You should just probably be buying and hodling. But I want to make a little bit of a reveal about my portfolio. I did about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And those of you in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group know this. There is a Black Friday coupon code expiring on this, of course. Those of you who are inside already know this. I did sell all of my crypto. Oh, I know that sounds paper handy, and it's not something you want to lead with because, like, oh my gosh, how could you? But I sold at a higher price, a much higher price than we are now. So I'm actually very happy with my move. Same thing with Cardano. I sold that much closer to $2. It was like $1.96 or something like that. And I'd gotten in substantially around about 106 on Cardano. So great moves. It doesn't mean I'm always perfect, but I was really starting to see the writing on the wall that we could have a catalyst shift down to about 54,000. That support line, 54,300 in Bitcoin. And that's literally where we're sitting right now. So since that was my plan and the plan I had written down, I am now rebuilding my portfolio. I have already bought back into Bitcoin substantially, over $500,000 right back into Bitcoin. I'm now looking at adding to some of the alts. I'd like to see a little bit more of a discount in Ethereum. I'd really like to see some pain push Ethereum under 4,000. Really strong resistance of Ethereum at 4,000. I am wiring more money over to Coinbase to try to avoid paying fees over at Voyager Digital, where my money has been Chinese handcuffed, which I'm very upset about. Voyager Digital only allowing me to transfer $25,000 a day, which I understand that sounds like a first world problem, but when you have $800,000 in Voyager and you're trying to use it to trade, but the fees are excessive and ridiculous, you get a little frustrated. But anyway, maybe I shouldn't call them excessive. That implies that I've researched all the other fees. But then again, look, you compare to Coinbase. Coinbase is cheaper. Folks, and I know I shouldn't even say it, but I'm just going to say it. In my opinion, and based on the research that I've done, the lowest fees are still Robinhood. But, you know, not my key, not my coin, you know, you can't transfer yet. They're super slow at doing wallet transfers. Customer service leaves something to be desired. I don't know, I got some work to do. Not saying that Coinbase's service is necessarily much more stable. But anyway, another thing that I want to do is I want to build up a little bit of the alts. So I'm really looking into Polygon, Solana, Cardano. I'm trying to evaluate how much I really care about this eToro thing. It's one of the smaller exchanges. It honestly, it makes virtually no difference. Not really major FUD that I care about. So 16% decline in Cardano. I mean, to me, a little bit of a buying opportunity. There are a lot of folks referring to IOTA, suggesting that they want to go to IOTA instead of Cardano, just tracking social media trends. Another thing that I am noticing is a little bit of a sell down or pausing in enthusiasm for the metaverse. Take a look at Decentraland, down about 6.9%, Axie down about 9.98. I do still have Axie teams though. I put about $40,000 into Axie teams here in a partnership, so that's pretty exciting to see that develop. Now, Sandbox was actually down more this morning. Looks like it's rebounded a little bit because we do have that Sandbox release coming up, which could be a really big buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't think it'll be a rug pull, but there's always that risk. We'll see what kind of game or alpha ends up getting delivered, but obviously Sandbox. Here, look, sandbox.game if you want to learn more. I highly recommend at least to sign up for the release. I'm personally not buying land. I might go see what the alpha passes are selling for on the secondary market, but beyond that, doesn't matter too much. Those are going to be an NFT that you'll need to be able to get access to the game. Beyond that, I do want to build out the alt portfolio a little bit more, and I have this beautiful opportunity to do so now because everything is having a Black Friday sale. So I'm exploring this a little bit. I'll be sending alerts every time I do make a transaction in Bitcoin. But for me, this is a great buy the dip opportunity. I think we're excessively depressed here on crypto because of liquidations. I don't expect, like usually when we have a big liquidations day, we do not have big liquidations that follow. Like this is even rare over here that we had larger candlesticks after. Or not really candlesticks, more bar charts, right? Bar sticks, whatever. Point is, we're going to do a quick little TA here on BTC and Ethereum. Then I got to run to the course member live stream, which remember there's a coupon code for expiring for that today at 11:59 p.m. But yeah, go ahead and take a look here. If we just zoom out for a moment to the 1 hour, this line that I've had here at $54,300. You can watch my videos. It's literally been sitting here for months. This is what my expectation was. It's not a surprise. This is exactly where we went. I believe we're going to stabilize here since I think the worst of the liquidations is behind us. And we do have the next very strong support line of 47,000. which I don't really think we're going to get to in this particular cycle here. I think there would have to be a whole lot more of a risk-off movement. The Ethereum there's no surprise here. I mean, we are sitting very strong at 4,000. Very, very strong resistance when we're below it, very strong support when we're above it. Then, of course, we have, let's do a quick little look at SHIB here. SHIB, technically, we so we drew a Fibonacci on this. Fibonacci's are not ideal for trying to find the best and most high quality support and resistance levels, but they are useful when you don't have a lot of evidence to go off of. And honestly, it hasn't done bad. We drew the Fibonacci pretty early, and it held firm at 61.8%. It did hold pretty well at 38.2%. It briefly bounced off of the 50%. So the Fib's been working quite well. We channeled between the 50 and the 38.2, channeled here. Then we channeled, I mean, look at this. Then we channeled between the 38.2 and the 23.6. And now we're kind of playing the 23.6 as a resistance level. This has been a little bit of a rough sell down, but honestly, I mean, looking here in hindsight, the Fibonacci has been something that has been pretty dang accurate, so pretty impressive. Clearly, a lot of people are using the Fibonacci, which, remember, the more people are using it, the more effective it becomes. So this is a little bit of a crypto update. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so very much for watching this. If you found this helpful, consider sharing and subscribing. We'll see what happens with Turkey. Pay attention to that one. It's actually good for crypto, in my opinion, because it shows the failure of fiat on how it can all develop. And folks, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for being here. Goodbye.